A house fire in 2019 and a mother dead in Laurel County led to the guilty plea of the mother's husband. Joshua Wolford was sentenced to 7 years for arson and the death of his pregnant wife, Chasidy Wolford. Just a few months ago, her family learned he was let out on parole after serving just 2 years of his sentence. But in a new twist, the convicted violent offender was recently arrested in Wolford County. WHAS 11's Chasidy talked to Chasidy's family.
And then when her kids, started coming, that's when I started coming out here. And
playtime spent at Hodgenville's Creekfront Park. They are some of the good memories, still with Michaela Large.
We used to hang out and laugh about the dumbest things, and that's what I miss.
But there's an open space at the bench.
It's not something I talk about a lot.
Her sister, Chasidy Wolford, was killed in 2019.
It's hard to talk about.
She died at 30 years old and was pregnant with her 5th child.
Yeah.
Chasidy Wolford was found in what was left of her home on Otter Creek Road, burnt and left in ruins.
I mean, of course, it's not something you expect, but it's not something any of us ever expected to happen. I mean, I regularly hung out with both of them, so.
4 years later, in 2022, Chasidy's husband, Joshua Wolford, was arrested for the crimes. He pled guilty to manslaughter, arson, fetal homicide, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence. He was sentenced to 7 years for the crimes.
But when he got out, it was still, kind of like a hit in the face.
Joshua was released a few months ago after serving about 2 years of his sentence.
So it's my understanding with this case, this was originally charged as a murder, but after a successful mediation, he ended up pleading to a manslaughter in the 2nd degree.
Ebert Hagley was not involved in this case. He's a defense attorney based in Louisville and talked with us about the release.
Of his 7 years, he only has to serve 20% before he's parole eligible. The parole eligibility is defined by statute. It's not something that a judge can change.
Joshua violated his parole and for a little over a week has been at the Wolford County Detention Center. The original sentence wasn't long enough for Chasidy's family.
I think he needs to serve out the rest of his life in the prison. Because at this point, that's what my family's doing, is serving a life in a prison that he created.
Chasidy's family forever has a reminder of her, this bench at the park in her name. Chasidy, WHAS 11 on your side.
Joshua Wolford was sentenced to the crimes about 6 months before the Safer Kentucky Act started. If he pled guilty to the same crimes today, he would have served 85% of his sentence or served more time before being eligible for parole.